sure everything's tight. Of course it's not tight. I'm going the right way. Yeah, I'm going the right way. No one's here yet. There we go. I got all kinds of stuff going on in the background. I got the furnace. I got this. I got that. There we go. Turn on chats in case anyone shows up. I forgot to make a thumbnail. I'm terrible. But today, we are painting the porks. The pig-faced orcs. The porks. Yes. Alright, where's my handle? There's my handle. Alright, well, I mean, there's no one here really to talk to, so I might as well just get right into it. I'm going to start off with good evening, Print4 Gaming. I've already done a couple of these black orcs. I'll show you one of the characters. This is how they're coming out. Ooh, lightings. God, these guys are dark. There we go. So this is what we're going for. Yes, yellow paints. So, just because, they say orcs get darker as they get older, we're going to have the same concept going on here. So, like, this is the skin tone of a black orc, or a black pork, and that's the skin tone of a not black pork. So, we're going to be using warrior skin, which is it's like a Mediterranean skin tone. We're going to use that for these. Starting off with this. Evening, Travis. Working on some Gretchen. Awesome. All right, let me grab my handle. Oh, you can see this is the squad leader. He is 15% bigger than everybody else, just because bigger orcs mean more better orcs. So let me see where I can put the camera. There we go. Put this over here. Did you have a negative wind chill today? Yes, we had a negative wind chill today. I got to stay inside all day. I loved it. Alright, so I'm going to start on the legs. Boop, boop. Boar orcs. Usually I'm on justification why some orcs might look like boars. Epigenetics. It helped them survive in cold climates. They have bristles and the noses. Okay. Yeah, we can make that work. Above the knee. Alright, so how is everyone doing out there today? I also just think boar orcs look neat. They do. So there's not actually much skin showing on these. We got the ears, we got one side of the neck, because these are from a Patreon. The guy's name is Illadil, something like that. I talked about it when I had the orc episode, and he did all of his stuff. All of his stuff, if you can't tell by the legs, they're made to rank up. So, yeah, right, there's skin done on one. All right, we're going to assembly line this stuff. Over here. Right. And, yeah, just gonna get to it. I feel like I have wasted a whole lot of time so far this week, but This is the last squad I need to have this army complete. And I'm already... Well, I got 2 plates left for the next army. 2 plates coming off the printer. I've been fighting my printer. Again, I got the new print head for it. And it took a couple attempts to re-level it. And we are finally good to go. And this, I am so far behind on the winners for the work and production stuff. That will be what I work on the rest of this week. Painting my 10mm army with the War Boss. Awesome. There we go. Park number 2. Greetings and hallucinations. Greetings, Stephen. Doing what we usually do is we start with the bottommost layer. And for these guys, it's definitely the skin, because we have so much cloth and armor over top of everything else that we can go back through and touch up as we run it. As we run that color. A little dash of water in this. Here we go. Maybe too much water. There we go. Oh, neck bit. I always miss the neck bit. Hey boss, how you doing? I'm doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. Took the little one out for his birthday over the weekend. We went to the movies. We went and saw Anaconda. These are from, I want to say it's Illidil. It's a Patreon that I had. I talked about it in my orc video that I did on Saturday. I joined his Patreon. It's one of the cheaper Patreons. He opens up his whole, he opens up his whole catalog whenever you sub to his Patreon. So he's got something like 15 armies. It's all fantasy stuff, but it's all good. It all feels like plays on the older style of fantasy stuff, and so I'm going to be using that for a couple armies we got coming up. Yeah, we went to the movie theaters and he wanted to go watch Anaconda. So we went and watched the new Anaconda movie. And I got yelled at by Mrs. Warboss because halfway through the movie I was just looking at my phone going, I heard it was funny. It's a certain kind of funny. It's like I don't know. There's a certain kind of comedy that I like, and the bad part is I don't see it enough to really recognize it. A lot of stuff that people say is funny, I'm just roll my eyes at and go, ugh, good lord. It's pretty much the same way here. So I'm not really a comedy movie guy. But he wanted to see it, so I was there. We ate a ton of popcorn. right in the paint palette. And then I have to record the next lore video that's going to be coming out on Wednesday, where I talk about the elves. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, well, War Games Atlantic, Orcs, yeah, they are pretty good. There's a lot of companies that kind of came and went that I thought were really cool, and then all of a sudden, I'm thinking about starting another army, going, I would like to use those, and they're nowhere to be found. That or the dreaded, they've seen the cost of plastics or what they can get away with charging, so they just decide that, oh yeah, our stuff is worth $5 a model. Like, no, guys, that was the whole reason why I thought about you, is because it wasn't. I don't know, maybe I'm just spoiled now. With a 3D printer, I'm so spoiled. I don't want to pay for models anymore. Currently arguing my Saturn III. Yeah. It's going around. The reason orcs are still primarily boarding, like in Japanese media, is because the old D&D art was their introduction to orcs as a concept. Oh. Where did the idea of a green brutish orc come from? Because I remember reading literature when I was real young that orcs were always like, they were pig faced, and they were brown and black, and were not the kind of orcs that you see in popular fiction today. I wonder where that concept came from. Oh, this guy doesn't have any. Gotta paint this guy's hands. Google says GW in the 80s, so GW is where we got the green orcs. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, Games Workshop was around before Warcraft. There's a funny story between Games Workshop, Warcraft, and Blizzard. Warcraft was originally supposed to be a Games Workshop game. It was going to be like their first foray into PC gaming. And then I don't know what happened. Something with the contract. They got cold feet. They pulled out, and Blizzard had the game that was like, I'd say 80% of the way there, and so they were able to tweak it just enough to make all the concepts their own. And give us the Warcraft universe. It's kind of funny if you think about it. Games Workshop could have been huge a lot sooner if they'd have just gone through with the Blizzard deal. Like I said, I don't know why they pulled out. But instead of World of Warcraft, it could have been World of Warhammer. The next attempt GW made at a computer game. I can't remember if it was Shadow of the Horned Rat or Chaos Gate that was first. But their first foray into games did not go nearly as well. Or maybe it was Final Liberation. I don't know. I had all the GW computer games from back in the 90s. And some of them were good. Some of them I just clicked buttons until things exploded. That's how I played Final Liberation. I click buttons. It's epic game. Make Titan. Make it go boom. See, I was playing like an orc even back then. Blow stuff up. Let's see, is there a topic you guys would like to talk about? Anything happen in the gaming world lately? Anything going on that I have not been paying attention to? Like Pepsi and Coke, the creator of Pepsi offered his recipe and manufactured it. Coke's president insulted him so bad he vowed to overthrow Coke. And here we are 100 years later. Mm-hmm. I think a good description I've heard of GW back in the early days is they were a bunch of nerds that were passionate, knew how to tell a story, but none of them really knew how to business well. I mean, their whole game, it blew up on the strength of their storytelling and having some of the first like diverse model lines. Having models that were full of character. Fun, because I've seen some models from back in the 70s. Some of them, very few and far between, were fun. Knowing stories, but being bad at business is textbook TSR. Games Workshop got the idea going to Lake Geneva, playing Gary and Arnest. I don't know the name. Arneston, realizing we can make a war game. Yeah. Oh, that was another thing too. Is Games Workshop and TSR almost merged. It was either TSR or that might have been by the time Wizards of the Coast came around. Like, they almost merged way back in the day because I think the story there was both companies thought the other one was much bigger than they were. And so they both thought they were like getting one over on the other until they figured it out or something. I don't know. That's one of those vague stories that I am not really sure how it goes. Okay. Next. Let's do the fur next. That's, how did I do that before? It is ruddy fur, if I can find it. Of course, I was like, I'm pulling everything out that I'm going to need, and I missed one. There it is, ruddy fur. And I think I put some burnished red in there, too. far more than I need on the palette, but it is what it is. Mix, get all happy. There we go. Yeah. And just little anklets. There we go. It's another thing I love about these models is it's not overly detailed. You can paint these up relatively quickly to look really good. I'm going with a true slap chop this time. You're never going to believe this. Uh-oh. I'm actually live. Hi, Violet. How are you doing? Oh yeah? Got to play your first couple games of Warhammer a bit ago. How'd that go? It's going to be Orc Week. My vids this week is also Orcs. Awesome. I Warhammered 40,000 light years. Okay. Let's see here. I played D&D this weekend. That was interesting. That was fun. Believe it or not, like I have always been the most of the time DM for my gaming group, but this time I got to actually play. And I didn't know what to do for a character, so I went on to D&D Beyond and just hit freaking randomize. I've tried so many things for painting and building and creating and just doing so many things. It was amazing to have it all put together. Yeah, I know. Isn't it great when everything comes together? Yeah, so I hit randomize on my character creation. I ended up with a, get this, a sorcerer, halfling, female. Yay! So that's what I'm currently playing. And let's see, last night we started at level 3, and it's just far enough to get yourself a specialization. And so, of course, I picked Wild Magic Sorcerer. Why not? Just check Thursday will be a double shot at work. So there you go. And let's see, the other guy in the party, there's only 2 of us in the party right now. There's 2 of us that are like there all the time, and then we have like 3 might show ups. Well, last night none of our might showed up, so it's just the 2 of us. And so there's a nice long drawn out plot point of the other guy in the party with me, the Dragonborn. We were going back to his family estate during a festival or something, and he had to participate in a strength contest. And between his dice rolling and my magical shenanigans, he ended up winning the thing. And then after the party, or during the party, one of his cousins got kidnapped. We were the only ones that saw him, so we took off after him. And I love how the DM was like, neither of you 2 have your weapons, because I'm in a dress, and he's in some, like, noble attire. And he's like, it don't matter. He's like, I got claws. And Fitz over there, he's Fitz. He'll figure something out. Oh, yeah. So he flew us over to the bad guys got into a carriage and took off. And so he flew us over top of the carriage and dropped me on top of it while he jumped on the horses to cut them loose and stop the carriage. Well, for some reason, again, D&D Beyond, I randomize stuff. For some reason, my halfling has like a charisma of like 18 and a massive intimidation skill. A little 3'0" halfling. I'm gonna stick you. Well, I got to use that to the fullest last night. It was so much fun. Jump on the back of the I'm on the back of the carriage, and I think it was ice bolt or ice dagger or ice knife or something. And I fired at the carriage driver, and I rolled like the perfect damage numbers on it, like maximum damage for it, and just blew out the back of his head. And then he'd cut the horses away. So the carriage comes to a stop. And then someone tries to stab at me from like the bottom of the carriage, or stabbing through the ceiling, and just missed me because I'm little. And two guys get out, one on each side. Well, the Dragonborn's a barbarian, so he dives on one of them. And then I'm trying to talk the other one down. I'm like, listen, you don't want none of this. You're gonna let us have the girl, or else this is gonna be real bad for you. Well, he tried to hit me with I think he tried to hit me with a morning star. He did hit me with a morning star. I think, ow. Again, halfling sorcerer, there was like half of my hit points gone. So I hit him with another spell. I forgot what the spell was I hit him with, but kablam! And every time I cast anything, I have to roll a dice. And if I roll a 1, I let the DM roll on the wild magic table. And I hadn't rolled a 1 yet. I was like, woo, okay, we're good. So I killed him. The barbarian on the other side of the carriage takes that guy out. And then a third one that was carrying the girl runs into a building next to us. Hey Kelvin, how you doing? And so I see him take off in the building, so I run after him. And I run in there, and it's a storage house. It's got a whole bunch of boxes. But again, I'm 3 foot tall. This whole place looks like a maze to me. I can't see over the boxes. So I start pulling out the warriors. I start stalking through the boxes and banging on stuff, going, Mr. Bad Guy, come out and play. Acting all intimidating like. Then finally, my Dragonborn gets in there. He can see over the boxes. He sees them run out a door in the back, and he picks me up. I swear, I need to get a carrying handle for my adventuring armor. He picks me up and carries him with him. So we get back there, and there's two guys, one with a halberd and one with a long sword, guarding the door. Well, I try to use my intimidate skill again, and little did I know, I was loud enough that guys behind the door could hear me, and they were scared shitless. Throw. Oh, he's thrown me a few times. That's why I said I need to mount a handle to myself. So they jump on us. The barbarian takes one. I use a couple low-level spells to mess up the other one, but the barbarian ends up taking out the first one and then taking him out. Then I run through the door. There's a huge fat dragonborn behind a desk. It turns out there's 3 girls that he's kidnapped, and then there's 2 more guys, one of them that ran in there. And the other guy that I guess got the other two. Greetings from the frozen north. Yeah. So the two little dragonborn, or the two little guys, they're scared of us. We convinced them to put their swords down, but then the big fat one uses suggestion on the other dragonborn, or on my dragonborn, and the other party member, and he's like, "Put me down." And he puts down the fat guy, and the fat guy takes off running. And of course, I'm like, "No!" and I take off after him. And we're the same speed, so I'm not catching up to him, but I'm not losing him either. And he starts running through all the boxes, and we make our way outside. And the whole time I'm yelling at him, "I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer. You better stop. I saved one special spell just for you, and you don't want this smoke." Finally, he turned around to attack me. He tried to use suggestion on me. No, that didn't work. And then I blasted him with a wall of flame. Boom! He failed his deck save, and all of a sudden, this fat dragonborn's on fire. Ah! And he's still scrapping, though, while he's on fire. Then my other party member shows up, hits him with the breath weapon, more fire. That don't matter. He's still scrapping with us, still got hit points left. And then I tried to, I was out of spell slots at that point, so I started pulling out cantrips. I'm like, Sorcerous Blast! And I rolled a 1 on my wild magic check. So I told the GM, I was like, Summer, roll me 2 d10s. Let's see where this goes. And yeah, I ended up casting Polymorph on myself, and while the barbarian beat the ever-loving pants off of this guy, I proceeded to just be a sheep. Like, Dan, it's your turn. Meh. What are you doing? Meh. So that was great. And then finally, because we're in the middle of the town, finally the guards and everything show up. They pull us off. They hit the barbarian off of this guy who somehow still had hit points left. Arrested him. We saved the girls. Yay, we're a hero. Finally a cleric shows up, sees me because I'm still a sheep, and then he just leans down and he bops me on the head, doing the 4 hit points of damage it takes to knock me out of it. There I was, back in there, like, ah! So now the Dragonborn knows whenever I get polymorphed, all he's got to do is pop me for 4 hit points and I'll be back. I cannot see that going badly at all. Can you? Yeah, it's one of those. We should record our D&D sessions just because they're fun. We're ridiculous. And I really like the way my Dungeon Master is doing it. Like, she straight up told us at the beginning, you guys are in an anime. I'm like, oh, okay. So, every chance we get to do cliche anime stuff, we do. Like when we first got to town, we met his extended family. All of his aunties were dragging me around everywhere, dressing me up for the party like I was a freaking American Girl doll. Like I was a my-sized Barbie. So I just rolled with it. I'm like, yeah, why not? Suggestion is a nasty spell. I almost killed my party because of that spell. Yeah. And then when he went over to do his feats of strength, or the strength contest, I walked over to a random food vendor. I was like, hey, mister, you wouldn't happen to have any feathers around, would you? Because we're doing, I need to have the components for my spells. And for, I think it was enhance attribute, I needed some fur or a feather. And I'm like, I can get a feather. So I went over and I batted my little halfling eyes. It was all sweet and innocent. I ended up getting a chicken feather. I'm like, yeah, this will work. So before he went to go walk into the ring to do arm wrestling and jumping and whatever it was he did, I patted him on the calf. I was like, good luck, buddy. Boom. He wasn't allowed to use rage. They weren't allowed to use any magical incantations, but for some reason, they missed mine. The hilarious part was he passed all the rolls. He didn't even need advantage on anything that I gave him. I was like, well, fine then, Mr. I'm a strong barbarian. I'm just going to sit over here and fire off magic missiles. Well, that's what I used in the second guy was magic missile. I forgot, I just learned that spell. But our DM was like, you guys RP'd so good, and the combat was so good, you took out so many people, and blah, blah, blah. We leveled up twice. So now I am a level 5 sorcerer, halfling. Yay. We had to register our party at the guild. Of course, there's the Adventurers Guild. Like any good anime, you go to the Adventurers Guild to get all your quests and stuff, and we had to register. We had to come up with a name. And the adventure we'd just been on, like to start, they were like, we need to find a route through the woods to the other town. You should do that for us. And then a few random encounters later, there might have been a fire that got started, but we're not going to talk about how it happened. But we might have been involved, but no one was around to watch us. So the only thing anybody knew is that there was a forest fire, and everyone was worried about us. Little level, I think we were level 1 at that point. Level 1 adventurers out there in the forest fire. This is terrible. And the next 3 hours of the gaming session was just us making our way through the forest fire to the town that we were supposed to find the route to anyways. And then we helped them fight the fire that we kind of started. And everyone thought we were heroes. Yay! Yay! And so naturally, when we got back and they asked us what our party name was, we came up with the idea of our party is named Collateral Damage. Got to get my sleep in. Glad to see you're doing well. And all. Yep, we'll see you. You would love the RPG tune. Think Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Dude, I love different RPGs, different RPG settings. The hard part's finding other people to play it with. Like, I've been trying to get a modern RPG or like a cyberpunk RPG forever. Closest I ever got was I got one guy who ran Shadowrun for me. I forgot what the actual class was called, but I was like a mechanic that had cyber dogs, and over the course of a couple of sessions, I was able to mount like light machine guns to them. And I also built like a battle bus. Yeah, that was great. And as we knew the campaign was starting to come to an end, because I think that we had a time limit on it, and like our last session went off the rails. I was running from the cops and running from the corporation down the highway in the battle bus. just causing a scene. The ultimate magic item is the infinite roll of duct tape. Ooh. I might have to con my GM into giving that to me. Okay. Now we get to do the yellow. And then we're going to do the silver, and then we're going to go in. Oh, actually, we should probably do the black first. Yeah, let's do the black first. Grim black. Grim black. We're going to give this a couple little drips of water. Just so we can dilute it a little bit, because if I don't dilute it, you know, black is just, the grim black is just overpowering if you don't dilute it. Like, see there, blam. Some of these did print a little wonky. This was while I was still fighting with my machine. Now, you don't want to do black as a block in color like this, because you can't shade a black. I'm going to go for like a real dark gray. Going to give them the pink noses? Nah, we're just going to keep the flesh color on the noses. There we go. There's the black armor. So the battle bus. Yeah. No, it was like triple reinforced armor sides. Bulletproof glass. It had a couple of LMGs. I think it even had like a cannon of some caliber. I can't remember, because this was years ago. That I was able to pop out of the top, or I was able to drop one of the sides. I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was fun. I remember I carried around an automatic shotgun, because you don't need ballistic skill if the whole sky is bullet. Sorry, I need to learn how to just babble on like some of the other YouTubers I've seen. Like, I went to go watch a Morning and Glory live stream today, and the first half hour was just him talking about how he shaved his mustache. Dude. No hate on him at all, but it's just like, I gotta learn how to do that. Here we are, we got long stretches of just brush work. There, I need to start having like guest stars in this. Yeah. Yeah, dude, it took a minute. It took a minute for me to get used to. Honestly, it took a while for me to get used to even hearing my own voice when I was editing videos. It took me like 6 months before I could like enunciate enough to even get half the words right. Have all the Goblin Reclaimer models been released yet? Yes, they all have been released. They've all been released. They all got released. I think the final release was in December where we got the bugs. Why is it when you're filming your brain just shuts off? It's because you're thinking too much. You know, it went for like if you go watch, I think I still have everything except for my original video up because it got copyright claimed hard. Because I did not know how things worked. Apparently people get mad when you take music and just play it. But yeah, in like the first couple of videos, it was just me playing OPR pretty much against myself, and I would just start and stop the camera constantly, make sure I got everything correct. Yeah, the first one got copyright claimed. And then I had another one that got copyright claimed. I think it was the first video of my first campaign got copyright claimed. Because apparently, even when you use music from songs that were made in like the 1200s, the person that actually performed that this time can copyright claim you. It's like, what the hell? This song was written in like 1066. What the shit? But I got claimed by a church choir. I think that one's still up. I might have just muted that part, or I think I just ate that copyright claim. I always think too much. Yeah. Yeah, you just gotta. Honestly, I am a case study of if you want to make videos, just start making videos and just don't think about it too much. There's Pulse Flyer Gaming with $2. Pork, 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 pork. Yes. Playing the porks. There we go. Yeah, I'm definitely a case study of if you want to make a video, just make videos. Can't stay, but orc is the other white meat. Yep. Absolutely. Well, thanks for popping in. Taste mucky like eels and mud. I've made videos before. Streaming can be kind of fun, but it's something that if life gets in the way, you will not want to keep doing it. Yeah. Yeah. Video quality can be forgiven, but do some research, feature creator, on your audio setup. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to get a new microphone. I need to get a new interior microphone. Because everything I do, I like to step up. I like to level it up, and the interior microphone was a level up from where I was. Now I need to level up from that. In my editing software, I'm still using free editing software. Yeah, DaVinci is free. I have DaVinci. I just never. I did not have the time to sit down and dedicate to figuring out how it works, and it's so much different from the one that I use right now that I kind of bounced off of it. So I need to figure that out. Just like Blender. Blender's free, but I bounced real hard off Blender. Because I got models that I want to make. I want to make them for me, and I want to release them for you guys. It's just a matter of learning the damn software. Ooh, Pulse Flyer's got some big Halo ships coming to PrintedStarships.com. You guys should go check that out. Go check that out. Use our code warbossfitz. Get you 15% off. Actually, here, let me just bring the camera down here. It just feels better in this position for me. There we go. I painted so much last year, I came down with a case of tennis elbow. So anything I can do to limit that. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't get a model count for 2025. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, these, like, all the armor makes sense. It's just not overly detailed. Perfect. Yeah, I did not get a 2025 model count because in 2024 I did 3,500 models. This year probably not going to be as much. Or, I mean, 2025 wouldn't have been as much. Painting is the reason. Yeah, absolutely. My progression was funny. It was, I got a 3D printer. And then I wanted to print all the things. And then I had to justify a reason why I had to print all the things. Thus, the channel was born. Put it this way, this way, this way. Hold on. Maybe we can do this. This basket's really good. Okay. But yeah, I'm a big proponent of, take control of your hobby. Do what you want to do. You want to make all the models? Make all the models. Find a reason to justify it to yourself. Right? Right? We get anatomically, like, armor that works. And then we'll just do that black. We're going to ignore that I missed that with the skin tone. There we go. Yay, done. Okay, we got 5 more to do black. Maybe you can catch up on the backlog of files. I'll tell you a little secret. You'll never catch up to the amount of files you want to print. You know why? Because there's constantly new cool stuff coming out. It's another reason why I absolutely love 3D printing compared to GW models. We'll just say that. Because GW releases what, like 3, 4, 5 things? And it might not be for your army. You might not see it in your releases for your stuff for years. But you know what? There are a ton of 3D modelers out there making models for everything. Of course, it doesn't help that whenever I come up with a new army, whenever I have like another army I'm going to do, I always go search on Yegi just to see like what's come out in the last 6 months for this army that I haven't looked at. What do we got going on here? Or I'll see something completely off the wall and be like, ooh, what can I even use those for? Well, good night. Yeah, good night. Print for gaming. Good night. All right, 4 more to go. After that, we just got 2 colors left. We got the steel, and we got the ochre color for their tunics, gambesons, whatever you want to call it, the thing under their armor. What's my wish list for the next plastic box they teased? I didn't pay attention to that part. What did they tease? Did they just say that they're going to have another plastic box? Did they say it was going to be fantasy or grimdark? Three more. Pretty certain they say grimdark because just having 2 factions in the story is much of a draw. Okay, so let's see here. It would have to be a faction that they've done. It'd probably be a faction they've done and had done for a while. I think it would be, let's see, High Elf Fleet. And High Elf Fleet, maybe Human Defense Force. I really wish it would be Human Defense Force because those models, I think, are some of the better ones that they've done. And I'm way off camera. Or, if they wanted to run it to where they're bringing out factions that don't have anything to do with like a GW current project, or current line. They could do like jackals and maybe one of the demon factions. Yeah, some of the stingers have some parts that are just asking for it. Especially the stinger the stinger characters and squad sergeants and stuff with those swooping weapons that go out the back. Okay, we got one more little guy and then the squad leader. So, I have a question, just because I can't look it up because I'm on my phone at the moment. Yeah, I had all 10 of their blades have snapped, so some plastic ones would be nice. Yeah. Could somebody in chat go look up Adepticon and see if the Grimdark Future Tournament is sold out? Because I know Uncle C has not bought his ticket yet. And he was like, buy it for me. I'm like, I can't buy it for you. It needs like all of your information to be put on there. Just you buy the damn ticket. Pretty sure it is. Yeah. That, and if I make him buy his own ticket, it's less likely that something will just randomly come up and he can't go. But if it's already sold out, then it's a lost cause. You know, the Titan Bash is sold out. That's sold out in a day. I'm also thinking about setting up something a little bit like off the books. Gotta head off, have a good one. Well, yeah, have a good night, Face Eater. A little something off the books, you know, something where I'm hanging out there later on the open gaming tables. Because, God, they have a lot of open gaming tables there that run all night long. Bring a couple armies out there just to spar with. Maybe record a couple games with. Because I tried live streaming there last year. There ain't no live streaming at Adepticon. Whatever signal you got is just shattered inside there. There's no live streaming allowed. Well, it's allowed. It's just not possible. Oh, okay. World's End Firefight. Okay, cool. Oh, there's 8 slots left. Okay. That's good. Well, that just lets everyone know if you haven't got your ticket, get your ticket now. Eight slots left. Man, they made that thing so much bigger than it was last year. I think last year we had 8 people total. Because that's all we could hold. There might have been 10. I don't know. I just know that's a bigger number than we had last year. I like it. Okay, this is the part where I just kind of stop talking and just painting for paint's sake. If you guys want to bring up a topic, I can wax lyrical. Oh, your face. That bit. No. Why porks? Selfish reason. I've painted so many damn orcs over the course of my time that I wanted a little bit of variety. And Moblins are legend. Yeah, it's a little bit of variety. And I didn't even consider pig-faced orcs until I got some. Here they are. Some warped miniatures. I printed out some warped miniatures for a firefight team that I've still never used. But see, here's their version of the pig-faced orcs. And I was like, that's cool. What else is out there? And then I found these. These are just beef and scary. So naturally, I took these. Beastmen from War Machine. Yeah, I vaguely remember getting my butt kicked by the pigmen from War Machine years ago when I first tried out War Machine, and then was beaten so bad I was like, yeah, I don't want to play your silly game. One line of leather in the back that's holding their armor on. That's this one, these brush. They're still wet, so I'll put you back. Okay, just swoop, swoop. Yeah, this is my assembly line painting, which I've just always done painting like this. Some people do the single model at a time, or like 2 or 3 models at a time. I'm like, give me everything at once. I'll just go until it's done. Like this army's got 30 of these in them. Well, the army I'm building, and I had to stop myself from racking this in with the other 20 because those guys are already done. Yeah. Yeah, these are definitely more like feral hogs. Okay, so that's it for that color. I didn't even register in my head that that was going to be a color. You know, thinking about it, like I did, speaking of the other 20 guys, these guys here, I did these with the yellow, and I feel like it's a bit, I feel like I should do like a pale blue for these. So we're gonna break that. We're gonna do those in a pale blue, but since I just put that down, we are going to do the silver. At least the first pass in the silver. We're gonna do broadsword silver. Let's gotta move stuff around here. Here we go. That, a couple little drippy drips. Didn't have anything in there. Drip. There we go. And yep, we'll start here. I don't know why I feel like a pale blue would work, but for some reason, it's what I want. Okay. Sure, give that a good mix over there. Neon blue. It's not neon blue. Wait, what am I doing? Wrong brush. Wrong brush entirely. Back to this brush. Just because, you know, with the black and the tan and that it'll keep it to like the other squads have a warmer color scheme and then these go to a cooler color scheme. Rocking now. This guy, we got his little head swoop there. We're gonna try and get it on camera. Swoop. Swoop, and then X. Yeah, that it'll kind of break up the squads a little bit more. All my two-handed weapons will be the blue, and all my double one-handed weapons will be the yellow. Yeah. They got outfitted from a different warehouse. And then because I got time, you know, we play on Thursdays. with these guys done, that's going to be this army, like base color done. I might have some time to add some effects. Go back in there and paint some dags on stuff, some check marks. Put like orc glyphs on these. It shall be interesting. Because even though they'll be done, you know, painting is my therapy. Ooh, oh, oh. Have myself some silver cuffs. Evening, bud. Evening, Tanzagor lover. How you doing tonight? Take some time, put a little bit of extra detail in these later on, just to, I don't know, I feel like we need a little bit of something. Good thought I'd stop by for a bit before 11ish. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got one more color, and then I am going to do some metal chipping with a cool little thing I figured out. Cool little tool that I ad hoc'd together. Alright, blue! How am I going to make this pale blue? I think I'm going to take Cloudburst blue. That's a dark blue, and then I'm going to just water the crap out of it. Or not water it. Flowate it. Oh god, it's been in here so long, it's not even... Where's my ball? Yeah, I heard there was snow in Florida today, or yesterday. That's crazy. Good enough. Oh, you can tell I haven't used this in so long. That. We'll take this. A lot of it in there. Alright. This is how. A little chemistry. Oh, there's some metallics floating in there too, but that's fine. There's very few of them. Very few. Alright, let's start. Let's start here. Confidence. Huh. Oh yeah. Not even using the thing. There we go. There we go. I like that. Perfect. Alright, where's my thing? Finally got 5 inches of snow. See, you just should have asked. I could have come and give you some. Oops, I missed that one. That blue works well. Yeah, I know, right? I know. Pull out little ideas here and there. Because originally my thought was going to be to base them in the desert, like, how most orcs tend to be. They tend to have yellowish bases, but we're not orcs, we're porks. So I'm thinking a darker green for the base. Like well, I might even just do mud with like some flock or static grass in there. not overdue for anything, because whenever it snows, I gotta go out and plow. I don't wanna. I wonder how much those guys who plow for the state make. Like here in Michigan, the MDOT guys who are running the big trucks. The effects of a blow. If it snows in Florida, it's just the effects of a blown up Coke lab. Yeah, yep. I remember when I was a kid, it was a Christmas where we were able to get a credit card and scrape the frost off of the cars and the windshields and stuff, and I made one snowball out of it. I was like, look, it's snow, it's so amazing. But then at like by 10 a.m. it was 70 degrees. Back when I was working for the power company, I would have to like be at work at 5 a.m. So I got to see the last of the overnight frosts before they burnt off. And then, while we were having dinner tonight, just random stuff I'm going to chat about now. While we were having dinner tonight, we started talking about how my wife absolutely thinks I'm crazy. Because when we got together, when we first started dating, she came down to Florida. I work in a freezer, so I hate when it's cold out. Yeah, I can see that. And she thought I was absolutely insane because I would like get into a canal or a pond when there's alligators in it. She's like, oh my god, there's alligators. I'm like, oh, they're just big swamp puppies. And I'd swim over there and try to touch them. Quite literally, I was trying to grab them to bring them over to her for her to touch them, but it's like the gators knew that I was going to mess with them. They're like, nope, and they'd run. That, and we'd go fishing for sharks. Like, I'm not really an outdoorsy guy, but just down there, it's just what you did. Down there, if you didn't have internet, you just went effed with the wildlife. Did you print these yourself? Yes, I did. I did. These are from Illidan's Patreon. If you look at the video that I posted on Sunday, I showed them all off. And I even used all of his PNG files for showing off the models. It's either the heat or the humidity that makes you southern boys do that crap. Yeah, it's it's the sun. It melts our brain. People aren't supposed to live where it's 90 plus degrees all the time. I think there was a study one time that showed that it does do something to your brain. That's fine. I missed his bottom plate. We could just say it's real shiny. Hey, Wells, I have a question. How are you able to print out tanks with all the parts or the alien high sport carrier all connected and not have to glue the legs and stuff? Well, for that, what I have done with that, I've used, like especially when I was doing the HDF tanks, I used the Windows 3D Builder, and I would take the STL files and I would kind of merge them all together in there. Then I would merge them and make them into one piece, and then I would take that to the slicer and support that. Yeah, but then we have polar bear swims all winter in the Atlantic. It's people gonna do stupid stuff. Don't matter where you live. Like me getting into alligator infested waters, it's like, man, it's not a big thing. Me getting into doing a polar bear dip, I'm like, oh God, no, why? Why would I? So it's everyone has their brand of crazy. Windows 3D Builder, interesting. Does it work well with Chichubox? Yeah, you can export the Windows 3D Builder files as an STL. Yes, yes, yes. It does. It does export those as an STL. But even if you needed to export it like as an object or a OBJ file, Chichubox works good with those. Oh no, I've lost my thing. Where's my thing? The little thing I'm so proud of. Where'd it go? Oh no. Okay. Well, start over then. Make another one. I'm sure I'll find it as soon as we're done with this. Okay. So you know those little things that come on the end of your paintbrushes here whenever you buy them. I have discovered if I take a piece of my couch foam and I rip off a piece like this, and then I take it and I roll it, and I keep rolling it, and keep rolling it, and kind of push while I'm doing it, I end up with a sponge on a stick that's not going to go anywhere. And the best part is I can take another brush, just go, oh no, okay, not that brush. I guess I get to demonstrate that again. Roll it. Roll it and roll it. Here we go. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Here we go. Bigger brush. Okay, this brush. Will that fit? Nope, that's too big. What the hell? This brush? Just right. Okay, there we go. Now I have a little sponge stippler. So, actually, I want to make that a little smaller, so I'm going to keep rolling it. And keep rolling it. And keep rolling it. There we go. So now I'm going to take some plate mail metal, the regular, not the speed paint. A little dab. Put that foam over there. And then we are going to dip, dip, and then this guy where he's got some scratches and stuff. Let's make sure. Yeah, we got a good coverage. Go. There we go. Add a little character lumps. There we go. Apparently 3D Builder isn't available anymore. Oh no. Oh no, it took away all the fun stuff. What the hell? Windows 10 has it. What printer were these printed on? These were printed on a, what's mine? It's a Saturn 3 Ultra. There we go. There you go. Yeah, I really like the way I found this, because what I would normally do is I would just take a piece of sponge and then I would like get some packing tape, put this in my little tweezers and use the packing tape to seal it shut. But this, I like this so much more. Okay. Do you happen to have any videos showing off your resin printer setup? Not this one. I did for my last one when I had a Mars. Yeah, it was a Mars 2. I never made the tribute video that I was going to make for that model, because I ran like 10,000 models through that one before finally something happened where I couldn't fix it. Or finally something happened and the parts were not available to fix it. But yeah, Saturn 3 Ultra, Sunlu ABS resin. Using pretty much the recommended settings for it, except I think for the base layer I added an extra second to it just to make sure she sticks. Dang, I'm thinking about getting a Mars 4 Ultra, but worried about the space I have. Yeah, well, here, let me unplug this. And now everyone yells at me because it's exposed, but I have a negative pressure setup over there, so all the air is just traveling that way, and then it's going through a pipe back there, so I get no fumes here. But yeah, it's just a Saturn 3. You know, it's currently printing Dow. Of course, I use the Piper Makes stuff. Sure, I'm going to get the whole fumes comment, but no, this is a negative pressure environment. That's why I had to take the door off to the basement, because if I had a door on it, I couldn't open the damn thing. It's sucking so hard that direction. Big Stompy by the wall. Oh, that guy? Don't worry about that guy. That guy's for a special project. Almost done. Almost done. like this guy's face. Just a massive blah. Another reason I like this little setup I got here is if you roll this and kind of push, you can make it a little smaller on the fly, and then you get a hair stuck in it. There we go. I'm working with about a 4x3 closet. I'd seal it off with dust covers and vent out the window, but I was sure if it would be big enough. I think the whole machine, like the dimensions for the machine, are I would say 24 by 18. She's a big old girl as far as printers go. All right, and that's. Yeah. Will be that. Then with the wash and cure and UV on top too. You're gonna have to make a separate shelf for that because the top of the well, at least mine, I've seen some that have hinges, but for mine the top comes completely off. So there we go, guys. Ta-da! We got black parks. Gonna go along well with the rest of the army. Oh shit, I still got a little bit to do on these chariots, so I lied, I'm not totally done. There's the rest of the army. Ta-da! Yes. So, like I said, I got some time left before the game this week, so I'm going to put a little bit of extra detail on these. I got to do the bases. We're going to do like a mud / some ground scatter on there. And then, yeah, they'll be having a game this Thursday where they're probably going to get their butts kicked playing against my Human Empire list, because my Human Empire list is 145 models. Half of those have counterattack, and the rest have scout. So it'll be fun. I don't pick the lists. Like, I make all the lists, and then I randomly choose who is going to do what when. So these guys were not made to fight the Human Empire, and it's almost like the Human Empire made to fight them. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, remember, check out the sponsors down in the description below. We got PrintedStarships.com, who hopped in here earlier, said that he's got some big old Halo ships coming soon. I should put the light there. Yeah, put the light there. And then we got Corvus Terrain down there, where they've got a code that you get 15% off. Oh, and Printed Starships have a code in the description to get 15% off there as well. Yeah, that's it. And then hopefully, we got Adepticon coming up in a couple months. I hope to see you guys there. And I'll be... Look, remember I said I'll find it? I'll find it as soon as I'm done. There it is. Damn it. And, yeah. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. And I hope you all are having fun playing OPR wherever you are. Keep your brushes wet. We'll catch you next time. Good night.